Without further ado, the one and the only Rick Omundson.
All right. Good evening, everybody. Hope you're doing well out there, everybody. Let's give Vintage Villains a big round of applause, everybody. Yeah. Their first comedy show. Good for them. Got a nice venue here. They've got a microphone for my penis. That's nice. Everything you want. Everything on the other side, if you've not been there or ever stopped in next door, you need to do so, because everything over there, the comic books, the collectibles, the video games, all that stuff is responsible for my virginity when I was a teenager, right there. At some point, I give most of that up, and I took over drinking and womanizing, and that was responsible for most of my virginity as well, so. At first, we didn't know if we were going to have alcohol, and I was like, man, getting up in front of everybody and telling embarrassing stories in front of a whole crowd of people that wanted to drink. Pretty much an AA meeting, if anybody's been to one of those, right? So anyway, I would like to say I have recently committed to a 12-step program. I've committed to be no farther than 12 steps away from an alcoholic beverage at any time in my life. We do, however, want to say some of you will be drinking tonight, some of you will be driving. If you're going to be drinking and driving, please drive someone else's vehicle, all right? Don't want to screw up your own shit. As Jake said, I've been in and around the bar business most of my life. I've owned a couple of bars. I've done the karaoke, I've done the DJ, I've done stand-up comedy and all that stuff. And you would think after all that time of being in a bar, you would get smart about what you do when you're drinking, but not the case. I still do stupid shit when I'm drinking. And this started a long time ago. When I first turned 21, I was in the Marine Corps, and I just got out of boot camp. And man, I was lean and mean. I was a fighting machine. I was out drinking one night with my buddies. I like to illustrate this stupid stuff while I'm drinking story with this. We're all drinking. My buddies decide that they want to go back to the barracks. Not me. I want to drink a little bit more. I'm going to go out and have some fun. So they all go back to the barracks, and I decide I'm going to drink some more. And I'm driving along, and I see this biker bar with a bunch of Harleys parked outside of it. I'm a Marine, I'm not scared of that. I go inside, and immediately I step up to the bar and I ask for a shot and a beer, and I drink it as fast as I can, and another shot and a beer, I drink it as fast as I can, another shot and a beer, and I drink it as fast as I can, and in my loudest, most boisterous voice I say, I can drink any one of you under the table. It was shortly thereafter that I found out it was a gay biker bar. They saw my Marine Corps haircut, my few, the good, the proud Marine Corps t-shirt. They thought I was looking for a few good men. This is where the saying, don't let your mouth get you into anything your ass can't handle comes from, all right? And I still do stupid shit when I'm drinking. Recently I was out drinking, I closed one of the bars down, and I go out to my car, and I spent 20 minutes trying to start my car with a cigarette lighter. I no longer have any fingerprints on these two fingers right here. You do stupid stuff when you've been drinking. In fact, you do stupid stuff with your friends. Your friends are supposed to be the people looking out for you, am I right? When you're out drinking, they're supposed to be looking out for you? Yeah. That ain't the way it works. They're the assholes getting you in trouble, am I right? Yeah, go ahead. Go ahead, drink another one, man. Let's do a shot. Let's do a shot. I was out with a buddy of mine one time, and he had one of those big, huge 96-ounce bags of beef jerky. He says, hey man, I bet you can't eat that whole bag of beef jerky. I ate so much beef jerky, I shit a work boot. It even had a shoestring, and I don't know where that thing came from. And a steel toe and metatarsal. It had it all. Not long ago, I was drinking at one of my buddy's bars up the street here, and he decided to get me drinking with him, and we closed the bar down. I'm heading home, and all of a sudden I see the lights in my rearview mirror. And I'm like, oh shit, man. Oh shit, all these years I got away with it, I'm gonna get a DUI. So I pull the car over, the police officer comes to my window. He asks for my driver's license, my registration. He comes back in a few minutes. He says, Mr. Omundson, this is your lucky night. He says, I'm gonna let you go home if you can call someone. I go, shit, man, if I can call someone, if I can call someone, they'll let me go home. I mean, hell, all my friends are pulled over in some other roadblock. I mean, if I can call somebody, he'll let me go home. I called in a fake armed robbery 3 blocks up the road. He drove off, I drove home. And I had gotten away with it. I hadn't stopped 3 blocks later and asked the same cops for directions to my house. I've learned that after numerous sobriety checks that there are things to do and things not to do. For example, I got stopped one time and the police officer, he says, Mr. Omundson, I'd like you to recite the alphabet backwards. A, B, C, D. He said, no, Mr. Omundson, please turn and face me and recite the alphabet backwards. I went, A, C, D, B. He said, Mr. Omundson, you're reciting it forward. I said, I'm dyslexic. He said, well, try something else. We'll try something else. He said, I'll have you walk a straight line. I'm going to draw a straight line on the pavement here. I want you to put 1 foot in front of the other. When you get to the end, I want you to turn around and come back 1 foot in front of the other. I said, hell, if I could do that, I'd be a world-class gymnast, not about 5 minutes away from you finding out I got a suspended license. But I have found out that there are things that will always happen. If you've been drinking, if you get pulled over, this will always happen. The cop will come to the window and he'll say, I smell alcohol. Am I right? They always say that, regardless of if you've been drinking or not. I smell alcohol. So, whenever I've been drinking and I'm about to get pulled over, before the cop gets to my window, I shit my pants. That's right. I guarantee that's not alcohol you're smelling. Maybe a burrito, perhaps, but... Smokers in the audience, round of applause if you're a smoker out there. You know, smoking, they say, is one of the hardest things to quit, and I know a lot of people have been trying to quit. The laws have changed. You can't smoke inside anywhere. My ex-wife was a smoker the entire time we were married, and she tried everything to quit smoking. She tried the gum. She tried the patches. She tried hypnosis. She tried Shantex. I tried guilt. We even tried the e-cigarettes, all that kind of stuff. She chewed so much nicotine gum, she could blow a bubble that looked like a Marlboro. That's a lot of nicotine gum. She tried the patch, and let's be perfectly honest, anybody that's tried the patch, it doesn't work, right? The only way the patch is going to work is if you put the damn thing over your mouth, you know? We tried hypnosis. And that actually worked for a little while, but do not go to one of those cut-rate motel hypnotists. She stopped smoking for a while, but now she thinks she's a chicken. Which isn't totally bad. Because when she started smoking again, she'd stand outside in the middle of the winter smoking cigarettes with the other chickens. She tried the Shantex thing, and I don't know if anybody's tried that, but it's got this big laundry list of side effects. One of the biggest ones is may lead to suicidal thoughts. Absolutely true. Whenever she text trying to quit smoking, I wanted to kill myself, you know? I tried the guilt. I'd say, hey, what about secondhand smoke? She thought secondhand smoke meant switching from the left hand to the right hand. Tried the e-cigarettes, but that didn't even work because she got addicted to the e-cigarettes. I come home one day, the batteries in her e-cigarette were dead. She was smoking an extension cord. We argued about it the entire time we were married, on and off and on and off. She'd quit, she'd start, she'd quit, she'd start. Finally, you know, after a long time, I said, you know what? If you can't beat them, join them. I went out and had my penis tattooed to look like a cigarette. After that, I encouraged her to chain smoke. But even that wasn't without trouble. I went ballistic the first time she lit up. She practically killed me when she stamped it out. And to add insult to injury, she switched brands. I got sympathy. That's what I was hoping for there. Oh my God. Thinking about that, I'm kind of alluding to the blowjob there in that joke, and I was thinking about this. You know, women seem to have no problem with it when they're dating a guy. Am I right, guys? Back me up here. No problem at all. But the minute you marry one of those, no more sucky the dicky. Am I right? So this made me think. You know, if Adam had told Eve that the forbidden fruit tasted like penis, we'd still be living in paradise. We, as you could probably gather, we're divorced now. Typical marriage ending in divorce. She got everything of value. I did, however, keep one thing she valued. I kept this. It's the one thing that got more abuse than I did. Whenever I tell that joke, I get two questions. The first one is, that really hers? Yes, it's really hers. And the second question is, you did clean it, right? Well, yeah, of course. Many of you went, ooh. She does it to yours all the time, guys. All right, don't get over it. I'm amazed at the diversity of the vibrators. I mean, you women really take these things serious. They come in all sorts of sizes, small, medium, large, howitzer, numerous types of material, you know, glass, plastic, steel. I dated an Amish girl that had a wooden one. She'd get going with that thing, it smelled like somebody was using a wood burning set. It was... She had to give it up though, she got splinters. It was... My ex-wife had one. This thing was purple, and it had 3 stages, and it had little like fingers coming off of it, and had little balls in it that rotated, and yeah, somebody right back here. Women know this.
Called a rabbit.
All right, called a rabbit, yeah. Which, personally, I think is an appropriate name. You know why? Because it's always hiding in a hole. Hey, it's... But... for some reason, my ex-wife called hers a squirrel. Yeah, and it always baffled me, just like that. Why would she call it a squirrel? And then, aha, the light bulb moment. whenever she had that thing out, my nuts were in storage. I make fun of women, but guys, we masturbate, right? We masturbate. In fact, by the time a guy gets to my age, he's masturbated 20,000 times. With that knowledge in hand, I'd like to apologize to everyone that I shook hands with before the show, all right? I got caught one time. It was kind of embarrassing. The ex-wife caught me, and I tried to back myself out of that. And I said, well, I read that married men masturbate more times than teenage boys. And she was skeptical. She goes, oh, yeah? Where did you read that? My journal. So I'm back on the dating scene again. I'm dating again. And I checked out one of those dating websites, dating services, right? But the women were so old, they should have called it a carbon dating service. I mean, I'm no spring chicken, but you know. And everybody lies on these dating websites. Everybody lies. Yeah, they do. For example, here's what I lied about. I said, I have the sex drive of a 20-year-old. What it should have said is, I'll drive anywhere to have sex with a 20-year-old. And when you're out there dating, you know, when you first start dating, it's very cool. Everything is neat. It's what I call carnival sex, right? Carnival sex. That's when you wake up in the morning and it feels like you got cotton candy all over your face. And I got to be perfectly honest, after 10 years with my ex-wife, it was still carnival sex. I'd wake up in the morning, roll over, there was the bearded lady. She said it was carnival sex too, though. She said it reminded her of a roller coaster. A lot of ups and downs, and she felt like throwing up afterwards. But you know, after you've been married for a while, it kind of gets routine. The sex gets routine, right?
Yes.
Somebody said no, they're lying. In fact, my ex-wife, she only wanted to do it missionary style. You know, that's where she made me pray for it. Occasionally, though, she'd get kinky. Whenever she got kinky, she wanted to do it doggy style. But I couldn't get used to the neighbors yelling, "Get the hell out of our yard," and throwing cold water on us. And it creeped me out when she drug her ass across the carpet afterwards. And her nose was cold. Speaking of a doggy style, we got one of these. Yeah. We got it for the dog, but we used it in the bedroom. I put it on her so she couldn't bite me when I was trying to stick it in her ass. Ladies and gentlemen, that's my time. Thank you very much.
Ladies and gentlemen, let's hear it again for Rick